Hello, friends. Welcome back to Lifft India Filmotsav and Awards World Cine Fest 2022. Here we are today in conversation with Ms Shafaq Khan. She happens to be the director of a Marathi film called Yere Yere Pawsa. So let's not waste time and straight go to Ms Shafaq Khan and her team. Hello, Shafaq. Hello, Shafaq.
Hello.
Hi. It's nice that you have joined the conversation session with Lift India. I can see you're sitting with your team members. So, would you introduce them to us?
Yeah, firstly, thank you so much for calling us for this interview. So, with me, I have Mr. Bhushan Dalvi, whose story Yere Yere Pawsa is. And here is Weber, who's one of the actors who was a child then and now he's grown after 2, 3 years of lockdown.
Hello. It's nice to see your actor and the writer team sitting along with you. We'll have this conversation in Hindi and English mix, predominantly English, because most of our audience is online and happens to be overseas outside India
Yes.
also. So, for the connect with them, it will be more convenient that we do more conversation in English along with in Hindi. We'll mix it up. Whatever language is comfortable with you is fine.
Okay.
Um, so, Shafak, what we do at Lift India is that we are all constantly on a lookout for new directors, new content, which is slightly different and strays away from the mainstream. At the same time, nothing against mainstream though. We are all constantly in search of the new content and the new makers, which would formulate the new cinema wave across the world. Your film comes into that genre, येरे येरे पावसा. आपने ये फिल्म मराठी में बनाई। हम जानते हैं कि इसके पहले भी आपने फ़िल्में बनाई हैं। You made films before this, and they have been also in regional language when we talk about India. It's not in the main language like Hindi or English. You have made films in Punjabi. तो सवाल ये होता है कि why a Punjabi film and then why a Marathi film?
यस पंजाबी फिल्म जो थी वो एक फ्लूक कह सकते हैं आप क्योंकि मैंने एक टाइम पे बहुत म्यूजिक वीडियोस काफी किए थे पंजाब के लिए सो दिस फिल्म केम अक्रॉस मी आई एम नॉट वेरी फ्लुएंट विद पंजाबी पर करते करते वो सीख गए उस तरह का तो इट केम एंड क्योंकि उनके उसमें राइटिंग कर रही थी मैं उसका स्क्रीन प्ले लिखा था तो आई हैपन टू डायरेक्ट दैट फिल्म ऑल्सो मराठी वाज वेरी इंटेंशनल उसके बाद मैंने एक शॉर्ट फिल्म की थी हिंदी में लौंडा नाच करके तो उसके मराठी मेरे हमेशा से माइंड में था कि आई वांट टू डू अ मराठी फिल्म क्योंकि आई बीन बॉर्न एंड नॉट बॉर्न एग्जैक्टली हियर बट ब्रॉट अप इन बॉम्बे आई डोंट नो एनी अदर प्लेस अदर देन बॉम्बे तो यहाँ इस बहुत इंटेंशनली हमने की थी मैं शॉर्ट फिल्म का जब हम लोग वापस आए थे शॉर्ट फिल्म करके अवार्ड मिलने के बाद उस दौरान मैं भूषण से मिली और भूषण के पास एक ये स्टोरी थी जो शॉर्ट फिल्म में थी तो उन्होंने
Hmm.
कहा कि ये शॉर्ट फिल्म है आप सुन लीजिए मुझे बहुत अच्छी उसकी वन लाइनर लगी और फिर भूषण के साथ हम लोग ने मिल के दोनों ने फिर काफी समय लेके उस पिक्चर को डेवलप किया जो महाराष्ट्र के इशू के बारे में बात करती है तो इसलिए हम लोग ने इंटेंशनली वो मराठी में ही बनाना सोचा उस फिल्म को
Um, it's very interesting to see women film directors क्योंकि उनकी तादाद कम है, they are less in numbers, and you happen to be a woman. Uh, Generally देखा गया है most of the women directors who come uh, do touch upon issues and stories which are related to the women issues, you know. Uh, but interestingly, both your films uh, are not the films which are touching the women issues as such, you know, going out of the way and talking about the women issues. How did you do this and why did you do it? Is it a deliberate attempt or it's just an accident?
अ, शायद उसकी वजह सबसे बड़ी ये होगी कि मैं एक डायरेक्टर होता है, मैं वो वुमेन कैटेगरी और ये कैटेगरी में अपने आप को स्लॉट नहीं किया है कभी भी। एज अ टेक्नीशियन आई टेक माई सेल्फ एज अ डायरेक्टर इन जनरल। तो शायद वो एक बहुत बड़ी वजह होगी, और विजन फिर उसी तरह का होता है कि आपको एक अच्छा सब्जेक्ट समझ में आए। अगर वो सब्जेक्ट इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है तो आई वांटेड टू डू दैट। तो कोई इंटेंशनली हो सकता है कल फ्यूचर में जाके मुझे लगे कि कोई एक वुमेन ओरिएंटेड फिल्म करनी है या कुछ और करना है, तो मैं अपने आप को उस स्लॉट में नहीं डाला हुआ है। मैं अपने आप को डायरेक्टर ही समझती हूँ, और मुझे लगता है इट्स जस्ट अ डायरेक्टर, कैन बी अ फीमेल और अ मेल जस्ट लाइक एनीथिंग एल्स। सो दैट्स व्हाई कोई इंटेंशनल नहीं था। और ये कहानी अच्छी लगनी चाहिए, स्क्रिप्ट अच्छी लगेगी, और इफ आई कैन फील एंड कनेक्ट विद, that's important. So that's what happened when Bhushan narrated the one line to me, and I immediately could connect with it because it's a big issue, I think, all over the world, and especially in Maharashtra. So that was the reason why I picked up this subject, and I love doing children's films somehow. I'm very comfortable with children because I think today's children are like genius. They're very good,
Yeah,
really.
absolutely. And in fact, it's very difficult to make children's film, and especially with the children, because it drains you out of the energy. Uh, to keep up the energy levels with them while work is amazing. You need to have a lot of steroids before you go on the sets and work with these kids. Um, Before we proceed further for Yere Yere Pausa, I would like to know your journey as a filmmaker. How did you become a filmmaker? What was your journey? Do you come from a film background? Uh, did you pursue it, or it just happened by chance, or what was it?
I think, you know what, I never thought I wanted to get into films. I did my education like normal person, finished my graduation, did 1 year of law, and was looking at a different field altogether. But during my college days also, I was directing a lot of plays, writing and directing plays, acting in a few of them. So I think वो बोलते हैं ना, वो कीड़ा कहीं था उसके अंदर. And then I happened to join while I was doing my studies here in Mumbai. I happened to join Firoz Nadiadwala and Karan Johar in their office, and it was more like a desk job that I was doing. That's where I felt, वो एक आवाज आई कि no, I have to do films. So उसके बाद I took it seriously, when met Vinta Nanda. She was going to do some serials at that point, and I joined her saying that I want to just learn direction. And she was very kind and very nice of her. She asked me to join one of the production that she was starting. And that 1 year, I think, which I spent with Vinta Nanda, तो उसमें मुझे हर कैटेगरी में अपने काम करने को मिला। रॉबिन भट्ट जी एक स्टोरी लिख रहे थे उस टाइम, तो उनके साथ स्क्रीन प्ले भी, डायरेक्शन का भी, प्रोडक्शन का भी। So that 1 year was like a crash course for me. And then I started my own production company, which I did lots of music videos during those days. And वो म्यूजिक वीडियोस के दौरान मुझे एक पंजाबी पिक्चर, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, वो मिली। उसके बाद अपने होम प्रोडक्शन में हमने एक शॉर्ट फिल्म की। वो शॉर्ट फिल्म की वजह से वी गॉट दिस मराठी फिल्म। सो दिस इज हाउ माय जर्नी स्टार्टेड। सो और मेरा फैमिली बैकग्राउंड तो मतलब दूर तक भी कोई फिल्म लाइन में नहीं है। सो इट्स बाय डिफॉल्ट दैट आई केम, बट इट वाज द कॉलिंग, आई थिंक।
That's very interesting, क्योंकि विमेन फिल्म मेकर्स को आना और इस मुकाम तक पहुंच पाना कि वो फिल्म बना सकें, ये अपने आप में एक बहुत लड़ाई है। हम जानते हैं फॉर विमेन, आई मीन देयर आर अदर बैटल्स आल्सो टू बी वॉन एंड कॉन्कर्ड, बट दिस इज वन ऑफ दोज which you have done and you made a mark for yourself. So congratulations and hats off to you for that. And
थैंक यू
you
सो
are paving way for, I'm sure you must be a role model for a lot of other female directors to come in the future. um, Now, were there any problems you faced in your journey while before you directed your first film, and what were they?
Yeah, I think we all know filmmaking is always a problem filled journey. कभी भी कोई बहुत आसानी से कुछ भी नहीं होता है। तो हमारे लिए थोड़ा और चैलेंजिंग हो जाता है व्हेन यू आर एन इंडिपेंडेंट प्रोड्यूसर, and a director. Since we have produced this film also, the challenges were every step that I took in this film. But that's the fun that I always talk about. When I did my short film also, there were a lot of problems. But that was a journey that I got to learn the production side very well, how to handle everything. Though it was a short film, but the scale I think was big. And the same goes with this. तो बिना challenges के तो कोई film मुझे लगता है बनती नहीं है. पर उसी से आप सीखते हो, and that is your growth in the industry. So I take it as a positive thing whenever you're facing these challenges. You get to learn every single day.
Yes, we get to know a lot of stories about, especially the actresses, the female actors, and their struggles and their problems and the kind of difficulties they go through are quite heart wrenching at times. Most of the times, I would say. So, were there instances where you can say that this is an area in the industry, in the film circle, which needs to be cleansed?
Oh, see, my journey as an independent, I have not joined the mainstream kind. Like मैं अपने खुद से एक पिक्चर बनानी है, कहानी लिखनी है, को करना है. जब मैंने short film की, तो there were people who were interested in putting in money from for this film, and they were from the China. She's a lady producer from China, and she loved my work when she saw the film Lorna Nach, and she was interested. She said, "I would love to join you and your production company," and they have tied up with me. तो मुझे कोई ऐसी बहुत ज़्यादा difficulty या इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में आई एम स्टिल टू स्मॉल एज अ पर्सन टू से दैट, बट ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ स्पेस जहाँ पे हम बहुत सारी इम्प्रूवमेंट कर सकते हैं. अदर देन दैट आई थिंक आई हैव नो रिग्रेट्स एट ऑल. द जर्नी हैज बीन full of hard work, but it's been fun. It's been fun, and I wouldn't want it any other way. आगे भी जाके वो through the hard work, if you get good results, that is what we wait for. This moment when someone from this festival and people who know the film, they come and appreciate. I think that's an high for me. So all that hard work का जो एक result होता है is this, and this is what I love.
Absolutely, you are very much right. I mean, it's the end result which is more important. Journeys are always more difficult, and but that's the whole fun, that you have to cross that difficult journey and get to your destination, and you've done that very well. So we'll now come to Yere Yere Pausa and your story of how this film came about and how you met the story writer and how did this idea trigger off and finally culminated into the film.
सो एज आई टोल्ड यू, मैं जब वो शॉर्ट फिल्म करके आई वापस, तो उसको एक अच्छा अप्रिसिएशन मिला था. वी गॉट एबट किनी अवार्ड फॉर द बेस्ट फिल्म इन LA. So when I came back from LA, I was doing some post work, and Bhushan is also into DI. He's a DI artist. तो उस दौरान हमने जब वो एक प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे थे, छोटा सा एक एड फिल्म जैसा हमने बनाया था, प्रोमो. तो भूषण हैड डन दैट फॉर अस. उस दौरान उन्होंने वो मेंशन किया कि उनके पास एक कहानी है, और मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगी, क्योंकि वो एक तो महाराष्ट्र से जुड़ी हुई कहानी है, पानी का इशू है, बच्चों की है. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लाइन थी जब उन्होंने नरेट की. बाकी भूषण खुद बताएंगे कि किस तरह से उन्होंने वो कहानी लिखी और कैसे उनके दिमाग में आई. लेकिन वहां से वो पिक्चर की जर्नी शुरू हुई, और एज ए टोल्ड यू कि लोगों ने उस कहानी में इंटरेस्ट दिखाया internationally. Lot of acclaim we got for that short film. तो वहीं से हमारा जर्नी बस शुरू हुई इस फिल्म के लिए भी. एंड कहानी कैसे हुई वो भूषण आपको बेटर बताएंगे.
Yes, Bhushan, you are on the center stage now, so you can, yeah.
कहानी मतलब आई एम अ महाराष्ट्रियन बेसिकली, सो एवरी डे मैं न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ता ही हूँ. तो न्यूज़पेपर में बहुत सारी चीज़ें चलती रहती है. उसी सोच से दिमाग में ये सब शुरू हुआ कि ऐसा कुछ लिखना है जिससे सब कुछ उसमें मतलब हमें दिखाना है कि लोगों को कि क्या एक्चुअल रियलिटी है, ग्राउंड पे क्या रियलिटी है और हम क्या दिखा रहे हैं. तो यही सोच लेके मैंने कहानी शुरू की थी, और यही मतलब शॉर्ट फिल्म का एक कॉन्सेप्ट लिखा था और फिर मैम मिली और उसके बाद हम दोनों ने मिलके को यहाँ तक पहुँचाया, तो काफ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है अभी उसके लिए। बट हाँ, कहानी तो मतलब ऐसे ही न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते पढ़ते एक टॉपिक एक चीज़ें दिमाग में लेते गई और कड़ी जुड़ती गई और ये सब मतलब स्टोरी बनती गई।
नहीं, हमने राइटिंग के टाइम भी जब हमने स्क्रीन प्ले लिखना शुरू किया तो हमने काफ़ी रिसर्च करके किया, क्योंकि बहुत रियलिस्टिक होना चाहिए वो जिस जगह पे हमने शूट किया है वो भी वैसी कुछ जगह थी जहाँ 2 साल से बारिश नहीं हुई थी, तो वो बहुत इंटेंशनली हम लोगों ने उस एरिया को सिलेक्ट किया था ताकि वो बहुत रियल लगे।
जो फिल्म के डायलॉग्स हैं, they are very much to the point and they are very spice of life in nature. You've never tried to go overboard with in intellectualizing the whole story and make it too sad. It's a very spice of life kind of a film, and the whole script, the treatment that you've done is very fun loving. I mean, that's what life is. I mean, it has its own ups and downs and the fun moments. Even in those difficult situations and moments, the lives go on and how they are enjoying and battling and trying to come out with their problems. And जिस तरह से वो उस दुविधा से जूझते हुए भी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, स्पेशली जो बच्चे हैं, बच्चों के जो कैरेक्टर्स हैं, they seem to be very well thrashed out characters that you've got. And I must say that you've derived amazing work out of those kids. Were there any workshops conducted, or these are non-actors that you made to act in the film? What was the whole process of having these kids involved with the film?
जैसे आपने डायलॉग का कहा ना, हमने बहुत इंटेंशनली उसको बहुत रियल रखा है। बच्चे जो होते हैं ना, वो कोई प्रीचिंग, हमें बहुत प्रीचिंग फिल्म नहीं बनानी थी, क्योंकि वो सब्जेक्ट ही इतना बड़ा ओपन उनके साथ किया हुआ था हमने, वाटर क्राइसिस का। उसको प्रीची रख के मतलब नहीं था। इट शुड गो, बच्चे जो होते हैं वो फन लविंग में, उनको उनको ये ज्यादा कितनी भी कोई सी भी सिचुएशन हो वो बड़े लाइटली लेते हैं, अपने अंदाज से लेते हैं। एंड दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग टू लर्न फ्रॉम किड्स, यू नो, हर सिचुएशन को बड़े स्ट्रांगली फेस करते हैं। जब हमने वर्कशॉप रखी थी, हमने जब सिलेक्ट किए थे बच्चे, इसमें 2 बच्चे ऐसे थे जो पहले काम कर चुके थे, स्पेशली जो सलमान का कैरेक्टर है और जो रघु, इन दोनों ने पहले काम किया हुआ था। बाकी जितने भी बच्चे थे वो सब नए थे इसके अंदर, इंक्लूडिंग वैभव। ये वैभव की भी पहली पिक्चर थी, तो हमने इन लोगों का ऑडिशन किया। उसके बाद में बहुत सारा ऑडिशन बॉम्बे में किया, नासिक में किया, एंड देन शॉर्टलिस्ट किया इन बच्चों को। एंड उसके बाद हमने जो वर्कशॉप रखी थी वो इन लोगों को सिर्फ साथ में बैठ के मिंगल करने दिया था एज फ्रेंड्स, तो एक रैपो अच्छा डेवलप हो गया था। बहुत कुछ नहीं सिखाया था उनको, बिकॉज आई वांटेड दैट कॉमराडी टू बी देयर। वो एक साथ मिलके क्या क्या करते हैं, तो वो एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर था मेरे लिए। तो इन लोग बच्चे तो बहुत जल्दी फ्रेंड्स बन जाते हैं और बहुत जल्दी मिल भी जाते हैं। दे एक्चुअली बिकेम गुड फ्रेंड्स एंड इट वाज आफ्टर दैट अ इजी जर्नी फॉर मी। और बच्चे इतने कमाल के एक्टर, मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती हूँ कि वो कैसे-कैसे आई हैव लर्न्ड अ लॉट फ्रॉम देम जब हम शूट कर रहे थे, क्योंकि इतने डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन में हमने वो शूट किया है। 45 टू 50 डिग्री के अंदर हमने ये फिल्म शूट की है, नाक से खून बह रहा है, बच्चे लोग बेहोश हो जाते थे, तूफान आता था, बहुत सारी चीजें, बहुत सारे शूट में प्रॉब्लम था। पर इन्होंने मतलब जब हम टेक लेने जाते थे, दे न्यू द कैरेक्टर, उनको पता था मैं ये कैरेक्टर हूँ एंड दिस इज हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू इमोट, एंड इट वाज lovely working with them.
वैभव, how did you come into this film? और आपने जैसा शफक ने बताया कि उन्होंने कुछ वर्कशॉप्स कंडक्ट किए, ऑडिशंस कंडक्ट किए, तो आपको ये एक्टिंग में आने का शौक या वो कैसे हुआ? कैसे आप आए? आपके फैमिली में कोई है इस फील्ड में या आप पहले हैं?
नहीं, मैं तो फर्स्ट ही हूँ। वो था कि ऐसा अपने अंदर एक होता है कीड़ा छोटा सा, जो बचपन से मैं पाल रहा था उसको। तो देन अभी इनके साथ मीटअप हुआ, सुमित के साथ मेरी थोड़ी सी जान
सुमित जो
पहचान,
हमारे
हाँ, जो
प्रोडक्शन
सुमित गायकवाड़। तो देन उन्होंने मैम से मिला, फिर इंटरव्यू पे इंटरव्यू होते रहे और हम सिलेक्ट होते रहे।
तो इंटरव्यूज में क्या था ऐसा कि वो क्या कर रहे थे और आप क्या कर रहे थे, और आपको क्या
नहीं
ऐसी उम्मीद थी कि इंटरव्यूज में क्या किया जाता है?
नहीं, मैंने इससे पहले कभी भी ऑडिशन नहीं दिया, लेकिन मुझे इतना पता चल गया था कि मैम एक नेचुरल थिंग ढूंढ रही है, और मैं भी उनको वही दे रहा था आउटपुट में।
क्लेवर।
तो एक्टिंग अब आप आगे कंटिन्यू करना चाहते हैं या बस ये आखिरी था?
नहीं नहीं, मैंने अभी जर्नी स्टार्ट की है। जैसे मैम ने बताया कि वो करते करते आए, वैसे मैंने भी कुछ छोटे छोटे काम किए, थिएटर्स किए, एक्ट किए, माइम किए, माइम में काम किया, प्ले किया है, कुछ छोटा सा एक संस्कृति नाम का शॉर्ट फिल्म भी मैंने किया था, लेकिन वो कुछ रिलीज नहीं किया उन्होंने, कुछ प्रॉब्लम था उनका। यूट्यूब के लिए छोटे छोटे काम किए हैं। बाकी मैं एक्टिविटी में बहुत सारा मैंने काम किया है। मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा है ऐसा मुझे लगता है, क्योंकि मैं कर सकता हूँ और इसी वजह से मैं कर लेता भी हूँ।
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely. Very confident. In fact, all of them, all the kids.
yes, I mean, the confidence is something which you have, then you can conquer the world.
Yes.
बट वैभव, आपने एक्टिंग के दौरान आपकी जो पढ़ाई है उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम आई, या आपने पढ़ाई छोड़ दी, या पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं?
मैं तो पहले से एक एवरेज स्टूडेंट हूँ, बैक बेंचर। सो बैक बेंचर को ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता, वो उनके लाइफ में कोई भी तूफान आ जाए वो झेल लेते हैं। तो मैंने भी वैसा ही किया। एक्चुअली मेरा एग्जाम था और मैंने मैम से बात की कि मेरा 2 दिन का अभी पेपर बाकी है। तो मैम ने 2 दिन के लिए शूट पोस्टपोन किया, और जिसी दिन मेरा एग्जाम खत्म हुआ उसके नेक्स्ट डे हम शूट पे थे। तो इतना तो मैनेज कर लिया था उस टाइम।
और
तो
वो
शू
छुट्टियों का टाइम भी था, मई
तो अप्रैल
अप्रैल
मई
में
का
भी।
पीरियड था, तो उस टाइम में हो गया।
तो शूटिंग के टाइम में आपको किस तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स आई? क्या आपने सोचा था कि ये शूटिंग इस तरह से होती है, या आपको पहले से मालूम था कि ऐसे ही होती है?
शूट के बारे में पता था, लेकिन एक्चुअल इस टाइम पे कैसा था कि कुछ सीनियर लोग थे, जैसे मिलिंद सर थे, संजय
ज्यादा
संदेश जादव थे, छाया मैम थी। तो इनका एक इम्प्रेशन आता है कि इनके साथ करना ही इनको कैसा लगेगा। सो इतना ही चेंजेस था मेरे साथ कि पहले मैंने किया था तो उसमें अपने अपने लोग थे, अब उनके साथ कोई गलती हुई तो हुई, लेकिन मैंने पहला टेक 1 टेक में कंप्लीट किया था, वो तो
यस।
संदेश जादव सर के साथ।
आपको मैं बता दूं, आपने अभी मिलिंद सर का नाम लिया, तो मिलिंद जी भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। मैं अभी उनको भी ऑनलाइन लेता हूं इस बातचीत में, उनको ज्वाइन करवाते हैं
जी।
और फिर आगे बातें बढ़ाएंगे।
तो
ऐसा
हेलो मिलिंद।
Hi, hi.
हाय। It's wonderful to see you on this interview, and जैसे वैभव अभी बता रहे थे कि वो थोड़े से डरे हुए थे कि आप लोगों के साथ, आप सीनियर एक्टर्स के साथ काम करने में उनको कैसा लगेगा थोड़ा सा, बट what he says is that you made life easier for them.
No, they are more talented people. He's playing it so nice, you know. Because he has his natural ability to perform, and it took us too long to get this familiarity with the medium. So he has his like basic intrinsic appeal to perform. So that's why he could perform that well.
आपने ये फिल्म क्यों करी?
I think once we met, me and Shafaq, and the moment she narrated the story to me, and I claimed the character that I want to do the Muhammad, and I said, and I was quite sure that I'm going to do this. And finally, when the whole thing was like shaped up, she called me that we are doing the film and you are playing Muhammad, which we claimed of. and that's why, because I like the film, the scenario, the whole thing. Like, see, the water crisis is something is very heavy problem in, I think, especially in Maharashtra and Vidarbha area. So the story is interwoven in such a way that water crisis with the religion nemesis. You know, these two issues are like the story writer and director emphasize on it. Like, I think we are facing too much because of this, and I think these two issues are interwoven with each with the thing. Where that was film was making something different effect rather than the regular film coming in the Marathi. So I think being a very selfish actor as far as the story line is concerned and the concept is concerned, I chose to do it.
Um, so you lucky actor that you chose to do the script and you got the character that you wanted. Uh, did the film turn out the way you expected, or was it better?
No, it was better than expectation because we were shooting in such a very extremely bad condition because of the heat, and there was no logistically we were not on the right position. So it was very difficult, and I think the cameraman added the more flavor to it, and the cameraman and director, they were going hand into hand. That's why I think the whole effect came out. When you see the film, you can make out that what the cameraman did to this film, and I think the both were on the same track. That's why the film came out very well, what we expected.
Where was this film shot, Shafak?
It was shot. It's a place called Nandgaon. From Nandgaon, you enter into another village, so it's quite far from Nandgaon. Also, ahead of Nasik, I can say.
It is a
Nandgaon.
Kusum Tel.
Kusumtel is a
Village
village.
name. Kusum Tel is village name.
Yes, yes, Kusumtel. As he rightly said, my cameraman was my biggest support at that time because he could see the film that I was seeing, the kind of rusticness and everything and that place did the justice. That location was beautiful. That village was beautiful, going in sync with my story, I would say. So I think that worked for us.
Exactly, the landscape of that whole village was just
Yeah.
outstanding. I mean, it gave you the entire topography and the colors, the dry colors, that or the
Yes,
gray and the brown, which is generally seen in the Mexico or in the Iran deserts, the
Mm.
Middle Asian country deserts. That kind of a feel and absolutely dryness, and you have life in that dried area. Uh, and of course, yes, like Milind rightly said, the cameraman added a lot of color to it, literally. Um, so, how was the music derived? Because I could see with the modern music, but yet it had a lot of folk flavor.
yeah, it's a great job done by Shushan Pawar and Kishore Pawar. They have given the music and they're new. I think it's their first film,
First.
first film that they have given the music to. और उन्होंने जिस तरह से म्यूजिक पे काम किया बिकॉज दे सैट विथ मी थ्रू द एंटायर स्टोरी आई वांटेड a kind of music to it and they did a fab job I can say. There is one particular song which is Khangla over there written by Amol, and he has written all the songs. One song, except that romantic song, is written by Shushan. So when the lyrics came to me, and when what I wanted was there on the page, and the music again was brilliantly done by these two people, especially Shushan.
Milind, when we talk about your character as Muhammad, हमने देखा कि आप उसमें आपका जो एक ह्यूमन लेवल है, योर कनेक्ट विद दी योर सनी एंड बॉबी, आई
Mm.
होप आई गॉट द नेम्स करेक्ट.
Yeah.
What, because when you take their names, it doesn't sound as if you're calling for the bulls. One
Mm.
could feel that you're calling names of humans, of kids or boys. This element is was there in the script or was it added by you?
No, it was very much in the script, and I
But
think as we know all that, it's yeah.
I'll
See,
insist
yes,
that name Sunny Bobby was given by him.
me.
Yes.
I'm trying to hide this, but that's it. But see, you while discussion like preparing the scene before the like going to the actual shoot, we discuss with the director and the like cameraman, and we do little improvisations. But the final call is of the directors only. So I think though I might have suggested, but it was her call, so it was her idea because she appreciated and she asked us, she allowed me to do it. So I think so. It's again a director's like appreciation for my idea, and that made us like we are on the same track also because very much time happened that she was on the other track and I am on like we have two lenses for the one film, so it was like that, and it was all in the script because whatever idea we get, it's from the script only because it is the main, it is the Bible, Quran, whatever like for the actors and directors. Every time we are facing problem with the script or the role or the character, if you don't get any thread, you don't get any like breakthrough, you go to the script. I think it was very much in the script. And Shafak is not kind of director that she says, "This is what I want you to perform. This is how you do it. This is the way." She gave us very free hand, and that's why he could perform very well. I think the character were written, they written very nicely. Written, you know. They are very human. It was no like it is not hero film. The story was the hero of the film, and we are directing the hero. We are like presenting the hero of our film, man, with the help of the director.
Milind, you have done so much of work. You are a trained actor, if I'm not mistaken, and you've done films and theater with under a lot of directors, and especially the male directors. There are very few female directors in the industry, whether be it theater or films, both. How was it working with Shafak, and how easy or difficult was it?
Yeah, first of all, like when the first meeting, I congratulated. We met for some different film, and that was again a very brilliant idea and very brilliant concept. I think it has to come, and I want her to direct it because she has everything in her mind. And as far as the she being a female director, we never treat her that way. But being yeah, very honest, that it is time now the females and women director are coming in the field and they have their own issues. Other than you said in the very much argument that in the previous of your show that. She doesn't like no like a flag bearer of this woman and this film and the issue and woman issue, but she has unique issues to present. She has unique issues to tell, unique issues to face with. I think see in India right now what we are facing more is the water and the religion, and so I think raising
Absolutely.
this yeah, so we are facing like anything. No, we are like engrossed with this complete. We are immersed with this. Every now and then, what we see in the newspaper or news channel is water crisis and this religious like nemesis rivalry and something. So I think she came with
Absolutely.
such an idea. Yeah, yeah. So I think she has a story to tell, and I think it's very brave thing that she has done, she come with. I think rather than going to the like regular women issues and all, there are issues, but there are people also to present it, but somebody has to go with this kind of subject also to present with this and she has done it very well. It was never posed by her that she's doing something extraordinary and something this and that, but it was in her mind that she was doing something. And she was very precise about the shots. She was very precise about the conceiving the scene. So I think that made her like different from the other directors. Like I think she is the first lady whom I work with as a director.
Oh wow,
So
I
I'm
didn't
very
know
honored
that.
that. So I'm very honored that I got a chance to work with.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So nice to hear that, Milind, that your first lady director and the film turns out to be marvelous. It's one of those classic films. I'm sure in the long term it will be counted among the classic films
Yeah, yeah. I have
in
claimed
India.
many roles in a film. The
uh,
moment she direct me, the moment she direct me any script, I claim my role. This is my. I put my finger on the role. Like, this is my role. And
well,
here I want here I want like I want something from the review also that whenever he'll write.
Thank you.
Make me hear it. I'll claim the
Exactly. I mean,
because we
the
hardly met on the set because I
yes,
hardly met him. But the kind of writing piece he had come with, it's like praiseworthy. It's praiseworthy.
And all the
no,
characters and all, which were written by, it was majorly idea from Bhushan only. It was very real. That is what appealed me as a film. Very real characters, very regular characters that we meet. And he
It's
has
yeah,
all
written.
absolutely.
it's all
And
complementary, like anything.
you've
The
referred
story
to the
complementing it.
yeah, you've referred to the very reluctant attitude of the government officers, the clerk, or the bureaucracy, which is totally devoid of any compassion towards the problems of the villagers. Um, and they don't even help you. So, which is a very pathetic situation. So, and you've touched that topic and you've just skirted away from that topic very nicely without getting too much into the controversial zone, so as to say. Um, so, coming to that point, did any of the government officials or the departments come to you for this film in support or against?
No, we haven't got any support to from in that sense, yeah. But the way we have, very intentionally done that in a very clever way, you can say. We didn't want them. We didn't want to hammer that thing down. कि नहीं ये गवर्नमेंट में ये प्रॉब्लम है, उसका ये है, वो है. Everybody knows वो बात. हम छोटा सा एक दिखा दिया था उसके अंदर के कि शादी ही इज बिजी. He is more interested in reaching out to that minister's wedding than to attend to these people. So वो one line में हमने कह के और बहुत smoothly उसमें से निकले. So we didn't face any such problem from anywhere regarding that. Though we थोड़ा सा डर था मुझे. एक आध जगह हमने डायलॉग जो डाला था कि शायद there will be a problem because it is said by somebody and वो गवर्नमेंट का इशू हो सकता है. But we really didn't face that even at the censor.
How did you come about the edit? Because uh, when you talk about a film like Yere Yere Pawsa, which has multiple layers to it. I mean, the stories of the villagers, their interpersonal relationships, even the communal harmony and the disharmony, and the confusion or the conflict, which is created out of basically nothing,
Mm.
which is what happens in life also. Uh, um, was it derived out of some real situations, or it was totally fictionalized?
Yeah, I think the references are from real life only, you can say. Because when we were doing a little bit of research, even Bhushan, when he was doing that, so they were very real life. Even government की जो चीजें हमने डाली है, जो बच्चों का डाला है, ये सब real life से ही pick up करके है. I would say that.
Uh, Towards the end of the film, how the water problem basically results or turns into a communal disharmony. It boils about or brings about and turns around the internal underlying conflict. Uh, what were the problems in evolving that portion of the script, and how did the actors contribute to it?
Yeah, see, that's a good part when you take brilliant actors like Milan and Chaya and all these people. They they knew exactly their character very well. तो वो सीन भी जो हमने किया है आपने देखा होगा बहुत बैलेंस है. इट्स ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एक्टर्स. हमने आई डोंट थिंक हमने बहुत ज्यादा उसके बाद उनको फीड किया है. एंड ये आई लेफ्ट इट बिकॉज दे देमसेल्फ there's a lot I have to learn from these people also. So जब उनको कैरेक्टर अपना पता चल गया तो उसी प्रेमाइसिस में उन्होंने अपने आप को इमोट भी किया. आपने जब they have done that last का भी सीन brilliantly.
Yeah, I mean that conflict was when we watched the film. That conflict we expected, and that it's going to flare up into something much bigger. which fortunately it doesn't. मिलिंद, आपके लिए वो जो सिचुएशन है वो करने के लिए क्या समस्या थी?
The last sequence?
Yes.
Yes.
No, there was no problem at all because the actor, like the co-actor of mine, Sandesh, is also my good friend, and I think we shot it early in the morning. That scene. That was the
Yeah.
only.
Saw the night.
In the early morning, we shot it around 5:30, 4:30. I think we start shooting, but it finished very fast, and there was no problem at all because there are many theater actors in that scene with whom I have performed, with whom I have acted in the like previous films. So it was all see when actors has theater discipline, the scene comes very well because everybody knows the periphery, the ambit, the area in which he had to perform. It was all precisely done because since it was like early in the morning, we have to finish the thing, and it was all precisely allotted that we have to do this, and we are going to finish this. Though it was like very cloudy scene, and there are many people in the scene. Almost half of the village was there, and then some village people was also there in there. So, so it went very well. That like it was all we rehearsed twice, and finally we went for the shot, and it was done with the shot division was very nice. So it was very precisely done, and so I have very less responsibility.
So coming to the short divisions, Shafaq, uh, did you had the editor on set, or was it the editor joined much later?
Editor joined much later. We had an online person, but not the main editor's person also. It was a different person.
It
But
was
we
in her
knew,
mind.
yeah, it was there. It was there very clearly. I had done the homework well, and okay, this is how I wanted, and this much only I wanted because I was also the producer and I had a limited budget and limited time, and I had to finish that. So I think the producer also worked very well in dividing those scenes, and I didn't want anything more or less than that. So that's how
So
we went about.
how would you rate the contribution of the editor in your film?
A big contribution. Editor always plays a big role in your film. Earlier there was, it's like Chandan Arora has edited the film. So I had already done the first cut of the film, and it was for a festival that he, through somebody, saw this. I don't know if I should say this, but I want to still mention that. So he saw this first cut, and he had never met me. I had never met him, never thought of him also because he's a very big editor and wouldn't even fit into my budget other than that also. But through a friend, he saw this film, which was supposed to go for a particular festival. And he said, "Can I speak to the director? Who's the director?" He said, "So and so is the director." And he said, "I would like to meet her. And I love the film. And can I re edit the film? And if you like my cut, you keep that. Otherwise, the previous one you already have." So I went and met him and I said, yeah, I would love you to edit the film, but this is how the scenario. It's a small film. He said, "Who's asking you about that? I just want to edit. I feel like editing because I love everything about the film." Before that, he had only done Fandry, Marathi film. This was his second Marathi film which he was going to edit. So I gave the film to him, and what came out was like brilliant because he is a brilliant editor. So I give him a lot of credit for the film also because editing, as we all know, plays an important part in the film shape of the film. So this is how it was very nice and kind of Mr. Chandan to come forward himself and edit the film. And he edited the entire film and he showed us the cut. My DOP was there with me, Yogesh Kohli, and we both sat and we said, "Wow, this is lovely." And that's how it happened. So Chandan Arora was never there part of the team, but he took the entire film in his arms और इतनी beautifully उन्होंने उसको edit करके without any interest, no money, no nothing. I have to just edit this film. He said something बहुत अच्छी लगे कोई editor को. See, इससे ये पता चलता है कि how true he is to his work. As an editor, उनको कोई बहुत बड़ा नाम नहीं मिला था, कोई बहुत बड़ा प्रोडक्शन हाउस नहीं था, कोई पैसा इतना नहीं था, नथिंग ऑफ दैट. बट उनको लगा कि नहीं, ये पिक्चर अच्छी बन सकती है, उन्होंने वो पिकअप की और एडिट करके दिया. So I would especially like to mention that there are very few people like that way in the industry who are honest to their work, and that is the honesty then you see in the film in his work. Editing is something
Absolutely.
which हर जगह appreciate हुई है उनकी.
Absolutely. I mean, it is the edit which is very much visible in the film.
Yes, yes,
It has completely joined and lifted the film in a very different way. The trajectory of that is very different. One could see that it's as if the film has been edited with the storyboard in mind. Um, so it's very
It's a
musical. It's very
combination of
rhythmic.
compliments. It's a combination of compliments. The- This is
So
location is complimenting cameraman. Cameraman is complimenting location.
yes.
Both are included there.
Yes, you're right. That is
See the
the
kind of tone, the what is the camera Kori, uh,
Yogesh
Yogeshwar.
Koi.
Yogesh, the kind of tone he set, no, with his lens, Yogesh. I think that is something as you mentioned it, Irani, some desert kind of, you can see.
yeah.
So then
And
Mr. Chandana Arora complimenting the film, the
we
director
used
complimenting
we
the
used
film, and the
to
kids complimenting the film.
yes, yes,
It's a
true,
combination
true.
of compliments.
Yes, yes. We
No,
used
it
to
is.
put
It
the
is. Milind, it
and then
is.
we used to add one color. Okay, can we add uh, one red color chunni over there, one this, and that used to lift the entire. So
Yeah.
Yogesh is very good with his work, and it was lovely shooting with him. He's
Well, I
very
mean,
good.
one takeaway thing that we have from this whole conversation is that it's very imperative to be the director and the producer of the same project. Then the things becomes much more smoother and nice and good, and you can deliver or do what you want. Um, Otherwise, under the given circumstances, how the most of the films are being made and how the film directors that we mostly interview and their journey uh, of making and difficulty levels are very different. So, on this note, thank you, Shafak, for taking out time and talking to us. Thank you, Milin. Thank you, Vaibhav. And thank you, Bhushan, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you so much.
all the very best for this film and for your future projects. Thank you,
Thank you so
Milin.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, friends, that was Ms. Shafaq Khan and her team from Yere Yere Pawsa. We'll continue our journey of the conversation with other filmmakers as we proceed. Thank you.